Hi guys, this is Ashley back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn on post notifications. Nicki Minaj sets the tone like a vocal coach. So Nicki Minaj responds to an article Forbes wrote talking about her selling power in the music industry. Forbes wrote that Nicki Minaj is one of the very few musicians who are reliable on selling music because her fans show up, okay? And Nicki Minaj responded and said, "Watch what I do next, Forbes. Just remember this tweet, heavy on it. Imagine moving 27 spots on the Hot 100 when Queen Sag, the chart-obsessed racist, is selling over 2 million in first week. Only 2 songs were able to have a plus when the Queen Sag chart-obsessed racist dropped, okay?" So she's talking about FTCU moving up the charts 27 spots. I believe it's on the Hot 100, currently at number 53, due to the FTCU remix. And then she also tweeted, "No money spent on video, no money spent on bots, no paying people to act like they like the song." Okay, is that shade towards Megan and Botch and Bitter? Who's paying for people to like their song? Because I remember Glorilla Glue was doing the Wannabe Challenge with Megan Thee Stallion. And I think there was the Bozos Challenge with Botch and Bitter. So is she shading them? No blog campaigns for sympathy. No award show performance. Been on Billboard Hot 100 for 5 months. Barb's tweet FTCU 5 months. Real love in real life, okay? So it looks like she's trying to clock whoever is paying bloggers and bots and paying people to like their music. Let me know who you guys think she's talking about. Now, fans are also accusing Megan Thee Stallion of copying Nicki Minaj, okay? It looks like Meg R. Kelly is turning into Meg Lee, okay? Channeling her inner Chung Lee. A lot of fans feel like she has copied Nicki Minaj's Chung Lee era, okay, back in 2018 during the hate train, where her alleged new album cover, that's what people are speculating. But also people are saying that this could be her paying homage to anime. I know she's a huge fan of anime, and so maybe she's paying homage to that. But some fans feel like she is copying Nicki Minaj. Let me know how y'all feel about it. She could be paying homage to both. I don't feel like, this cover really means that she's copying Nicki Minaj. It could be anime, but I don't feel like it's necessarily a big deal or anything like that. So let me know how y'all feel about it. Now, moving on to Doja Badu. Fans want Doja and Kung Fu Kenny to get in the booth. A fan tweeted, "Please don't beat me up, but I think Doja Cat and Kung Fu Kenny have a very similar rapping style, especially since he put out that new record, Not Like Us, which I will be covering." But I actually think it's the opposite. I think Doja copies Kung Fu Kenny, and that's why when Detention came out, I called her Doja Lamar. And, I did hear that Doja Cat's team did want her to work with Kung Fu Kenny, okay? Because, he's an icon. He's the king of rap. That would be a very good, co-sign for Doja Cat. But let's be very clear. She's inspired by Kung Fu Kenny. They don't have similar styles. She copies him, okay? Let's just be real. She copies Nicki. She copies Kung Fu Kenny when it comes to her rapping style. She's not original. I love Doja Cat. I really do. And I would be here for the collaboration. I would be definitely here for it, because at the end of the day, I don't think Nicki going to get a Kung Fu Kenny collaboration no time soon because she's on the wrong side of the team. She with Botch BBL Boy where she need to be on Kung Fu Kenny's side because Botch BBL Boy was not there for you during the hate train. Okay, let's be very clear. But I would be here for Kung Fu Kenny doing a record with Doja Cat. That would be fire. Okay? Even though I can see him completely out rapping her. Now, Botch and Bitter is flopping down the charts. It has been reported that Botch and Bitter's Enough, aka Dr. Miami, faces chart removal risk. It has been reported that Dr. Miami is projected to spend its 7th week on the Payola Hot 100 at number 81, facing a potential risk of being removed from the chart next week, despite initial expectations and significant radio play and playlisting. The song has not sustained its position on the charts as long as anticipated, leading to disappointment among the fans and comparisons to other artists' chart performances. This development highlights the competitive nature of the music industry and the challenges artists face in maintaining chart success. So this is what has been reported about Botch and Bitter's recent single. And she also has not sold out, her EBT experience. But, it's not necessarily Botch and Bitter's fault because everybody putting out diss records. Okay? So nobody's focusing on Botch and Bitter while Champagne Thickums and Kung Fu Këññy are going back and forth. Let's just be real. But then again, even before the diss records, nobody really cared about Botch and Bitter's music. She should just retire. But with that being said, Nicki Minaj, Botch and Bitter, and Doja Cat rank as the top 3 richest mainstream female rappers in the game. Allegedly, Nicki Minaj's net worth has been updated to $200 million. Probably because of the tour. I think it's probably a little bit more than that. I think it's probably around 300 million if I had to guess. Botch and Bitter, 80 million. And Doja Cat, 14 million. Iggy, 10. Meg R. Kelly, 8 million. Young Miami, 5 million. Yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie. Everybody else is 5 or under. We don't really care about those. No shade. I'm just wondering, Doja Cat recently just went on tour. Okay. And her net worth was 10 million before she went on tour. How is it only 14 million? Okay. That doesn't make sense. I think Doja Cat's net worth is incorrect. And how the hell is Botch and Bitter's net worth 80 million? 80 million where? No tours. Okay. All she does is rant on social media. No second album. No recent brand deals. Okay. Where is this 80 million coming from? I think they just be making up stuff. We need to verify some of these networks because it's not adding up to me. I don't understand how somebody that can do nothing make $80 million. Okay. It doesn't make sense. Now, moving on to Ice Spice and Scratch Off. Fans are saying that Ice Spice and Scratch Off will be making amends because Ice Spice fell out with Nicki Minaj, allegedly, which I think there's definitely an issue there. But Nicki Minaj or Ice Spice have not confirmed it. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about that. I think that Scratch Off definitely would try to be cool with Ice Spice. First, to get some tea. I think she definitely would record Ice Spice phone calls and get some tea on Nicki Minaj via Ice Spice. Okay, I definitely think she would befriend Ice Spice for that reason. And to do music with her because Ice Spice can chart by herself. Well, we'll see the next time because, she lost some of the barbs. But she can chart by herself. Scratch Off cannot. And I think that she would be using Ice Spice to benefit her career. Okay, because if they do a song together, people are going to tune in to see if they both take shots at Nicki Minaj. So it would be a chess move. But I don't think Ice Spice need Scratch Off. I think Scratch Off need Ice Spice more. Moving on from that, Meg R. Kelly is getting sabotaged yet again. Allegedly, Megan Thee Stallion has dropped her tour tickets again to $24.50. Okay, so $24.50. Goodness gracious. Going to the movies or Uber Eats costs more than this. This is very interesting. But, like I said before, maybe Megan Thee Stallion is reducing the ticket prices. Maybe Devil Nation told her to reduce the ticket prices because, Camel Face, he has some pull over at Live Nation. So maybe they told her to reduce the ticket prices because, people are going through a recession and, she probably could sell out more tickets and more shows if she reduces the prices. So maybe that was her plan. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Now, moving on to Queen B. Fans are upset that Sexy Red is being embraced by the country music community more than Queen B. Zach Bryan brought Sexy Red out in St. Louis, okay? But fans are wondering, why didn't he bring out Queen B, okay? Well, I don't think Queen B would have went anyway. Okay, I think she's in Tokyo or something like that. And I feel like Sexy Red is ghetto and Queen B has more class. So they want to showcase the ghetto-ness versus the classiness when it comes to black women. That's why they brought out Sexy Red. I wouldn't be shocked if next year she go to the Country Music Awards just like Gorilla Glue. It didn't make sense for Gorilla Glue to be there and not Queen B. Okay, so, she is still facing discrimination, but it's because Queen B's too classy and Sexy's ghetto. Now, JT is getting Donkey of the Day. Okay, reason why is because instead of focusing on the fact that you have a successful single, okay, that is supposed to be charting, allegedly in the top 60 on the Hot 100, you've been going back with Suki with the loose coochie on Twitter, okay? And I understand you're sticking up for yourself and, she started with you because you didn't clear who you were throwing shade at in the song, okay? Some fans felt like you were throwing shade at Botch and Bitter. Some fans felt like you were throwing shade at Suki with the loose coochie. I always thought it was Botch and Bitter because Suki with the loose coochie never said anything negative about you publicly until now. But with that being said, I just feel like JT always in something. Like, she just can't ignore anything. I would have just ignored Suki with the loose coochie. She's a Z-lister. And at the end of the day, she doesn't really have a career besides Zeus. I understand that you're tired of people coming for you. But you should have just DM'd Suki when she posted that video and wanted clarification if you were talking about her. But you spent all day yesterday going in on her. The last 3 days, you guys been going back and forth, but no diss records. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give JT Donkey of the Day because that was just ridiculous. Going back and forth multiple days, with Suki, with the loose coochie, seems like a waste of time. Okay? You didn't even have that energy for Botch and Bitter, and she called you a lapdog. Okay, so I don't have time for this. This is just ridiculous, JT. If you want to move up in your career, you got to stop doing all of that. Ignore the Z-listers. Now, Kung Fu Kenny cannot be stopped. He dropped one of the best diss records, top 5 of all time. Yes, I said it, of all time. Saturday night, the second verse for his song, Not Like Us, he really starts going in. He said, beat your ass and hide the Bible if God's watching. Sometimes you gotta pop up and show niggas. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that upped the score on him. Walked him down whole time. I know he got some hoe in him. Pull on him, extort-ish. Bully, death row on him. Say Drake, I hear you like them young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. To any B-word that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him. They tell me Chubb's the only one that gets your hand-me-downs and party at the party playing with his nose now. Now, he's talking about Party Next Door. For people that are very confused, allegedly Party, Next Door does some of the powder. And Party Next Door is signed to OVO. And he said, Baca got a weird case. Why is he around? Certified lover boy or certified pedophiles. Now, if you're wondering who he's referring to in regards to Baca, I believe is signed to OVO, and allegedly he had a blank trafficking case, and he was in jail for a few years. I'm sure you guys can put two and two together. So he's like, why are you keeping somebody that had a blank trafficking case around? Then he said, why are you trolling like a B word? Ain't you tired? Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor, okay, which has a lot of people cackling about this line because that was a bar. Let's be very clear. Some people felt like he went into his inner Nicki Minaj, okay, because Nicki is very animated in her raps, just like Kung Fu Kenny. But then I saw some fans feel like he was mocking Nicki, okay, because she's close to Champagne Thickums, but I definitely don't feel that way. I think Kung Fu Kenny has always been animated, and he wasn't mocking Nicki at all. Then he calls out Champagne Thickums for disrespecting Pac. Said, I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop. Did cold foul. I don't know why you still pretending. What is owl, bird niggas, and bird bitches? The audience is not dumb. Shape the stories how you want. Drake, they not slow. Rabbit hole so deep, and I can go further, I promise. Then he said, what is OVO for? The other vaginal option? Oh my goodness. He was going in. Then he talks about Wayne and Champagne Thickums. He said, effed on Wayne's girl while he was in jail. That's conniving. Then getting his face tatted like a B word apologizing. Which, Wayne has talked about in interviews how Champagne Thickums slept with his girl while he was in prison. Okay, or in jail. Then he said, from Analandro down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena Williams, which Champagne Thickums used to date. She's from Compton. Your homeboy need a subpoena. That predator move in flocks. They name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watched. Goodness gracious. Then he says, once upon a time, all of us was in chains. Homie still doubled down calling us some slaves. And I think it was because Champagne Thickums said that, Kung Fu Kenny raps like he's about to free the slaves or something like that. He said, Atlanta was the Mecca building railroads and trains. Bear with me for a sec. Let me put y'all up on game. He said, you call Future when you didn't see the club. Little Baby help you get your lingo up. 21 gave you false street cred. Thug made you feel like you were slime in your head. Quavo said you can be from the north side. 2 Chainz said you good, but he lied. You ran to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague. You're an effing colonizer. The family matter and the truth of the matter is it was God's plan to show y'all the liar. Now, everybody knows that Champagne Thickums got a song called God's Plan. Okay? So that was a double entendre. Then he said, you're a freaky ass N-word. He's a 69 god. And then he was like, OV-ho. OV-ho. Everybody is singing that. This song was a hit. This song can get played in clubs, cookouts. Y'all underestimated Kung Fu Kenny. Y'all were saying, the other song, The Grams, was a snooze fest, which it wasn't. You guys just like twerking poom poom music too much. But this was definitely a hit song. And I can see this topping the charts. Then BBL Diddy drops The Heart Part 6, where he denies all the allegations that Kung Fu Kenny has been saying about him, okay? He denied the pedo allegations, saying that, if, he liked young girls and if he was a pedo, that, he would be in jail already, which is false. I didn't know why he said that because look at Dan Schneider. Diddy just got exposed and he'd been in the game for 30 years. I'm like, how would you already be in jail just because you're more famous? That didn't make any sense. That means you would have more reasons to not be in jail because people would more likely cover it up. I mean, that didn't make any sense to me. He sounded very defeated. Then he talked about how he baited Kung Fu Kenny when it came to, him spilling that he had an 11-year-old daughter. He said he planted that, and that he's been telling people to go say things to Kung Fu Kenny, which I don't really believe. He sounded actually very defeated in this record. I didn't like this song at all. The other songs he put out weren't bad. The Push-Ups record, Family Matters. Those weren't bad records, but, this one was just not that great in my opinion. Then he started talking at the end of it, and you can just tell that he sounds like very upset. Okay? So I don't know. I'm going to have to give this record a -2. I didn't like this one. But, it is good that he denied the allegations, but his excuses didn't make any sense. Saying that he's too famous to be a pedo when there are evidence out there of you linking up with underage girls. There's evidence all over social media. I don't think that it's impossible. Okay? You are currently dating somebody that is like 17 or 18 years younger than you. So it's not impossible. You was texting Millie Brown. Stop it. Let's not act like those things didn't happen. Then he lied and said Kung Fu Kenny was going to take his, music off of Paolify because of Robert Kelly, which is false. It was actually because of XXXTentacion, but people are running with the narrative that it was R. Kelly, which is not true. Okay, so I feel like sometimes it comes off that Champagne Thickums is getting his information from social media, and I actually believe that because he hangs out with academics. You're saying that the tea Kung Fu Kenny is getting is false, but the tea you're getting is also false. You haven't really proved anything. And then he also lied and said that Kung Fu Kenny was sexually assaulted, and that's why he hates pedos, which was just a terrible angle and false. Kung Fu Kenny was not assaulted. It was his mom. I was like, oh my goodness, this man is just taking L after L. Now, Metro also showed some evidence that BBO Diddy tried to get Like That removed off radio, or he tried to block it from receiving radio. He showed some emails in regards to that. So BBO Diddy do be stopping bags behind the scenes, and he also tweeted, "The drum thing was laughable, so I let it slide. But what we not gonna do is spread lies and have my loved ones involved. Nobody ever hit my girl N-word. We grew up together. She's a real woman and she's not even in the industry, but I guess." And so he made a beat dissing Champagne Thickums, and he said whoever puts the best verse on the beat, they get the beat for free. It's called BBL Drizzy, and the beat to me is kind of trash. No shade, do not like the beat at all. But Champagne Thickums, I believe it was in Family Matters, said that he smashed one of Metro's girls, which allegedly is a lie. So again, Champagne Thickums been spreading a lot of false information, just like Kung Fu Kenny. But in my opinion, Kung Fu Kenny won. Okay? That last record, The Heart Part 6, he got that title from Twitter. I thought it was kind of trash, and he didn't really explain himself that great, and he sounded defeated. I hope Kung Fu Kenny continues to release new music. So let me know how y'all feel about it. I got some hot tea on Patreon, link will be in the description, and have a great day.